Hello everyone, welcome to the new session of Agrometrology MCQs part 2. So we have already discussed one of the session for the MCQs based question on agrometrology, right? So in this session also we are going to solve some of the MCQs based questions. Okay, so the first question is, on air mass with warmer temperature than the underlying surface is called as. So we are having a warmer air mass. This is the air mass. Right? With warmer temperature. Then the underlying surface is called as stable air mass, warmer air mass, cold air mass, or none of the above. So if the air mass is warmer, then the underlying surface will be having the warm air mass, right? So the correct answer is the warm air mass. Next question. The heat flow into or out of the soil is called. So the options are actual lapse rate, solar heat flux, thermal lapse rate, and the soil heat flux. So the heat flow into or out of the soil. So atmosphere is having a temperature, warmer temperature, and the soil is here. So this warmer temperature move to the soil. This move to the soil due to the three ways. That is convection, conduction, and also the radiation, right? And the radiation in these three ways. So this is the heat flux. This is the heat flux going to the soil region via convection, conduction, and radiation ways, right? So that is called as soil heat flux. That is called as the soil heat flux. So the correct answer is soil heat flux. Next question. The thermal conductivity into the soil depends on texture, moisture, organic matter content. So soil is having some texture, right? How the soil appear. So every soil is having some texture, right? And it varies. The texture varies according to the constituent of the soil present in it, right? So the black soil is totally different from the red soil. Okay, and the soil which is having higher organic content will be different from the other soil. So the texture depends upon the content of the soil, the minerals that are having in the soil, right? Moisture is also very, very important. So moisture varies in soil to soil. Every soil is not having the equal amount of moisture, right? The soil which having a lot of organic content matter then will have greater moisture, and the organic content present in it, organic matter content present in it also varies, right? And the thermal conductivity in the soil depends upon texture, moisture, as well as the organic matter content, right? So the correct answer is all of these. The thermal conductivity into the soil depends upon all of these. That is the texture, moisture, and organic matter content. Next question. Which of the following can influence the heat flow in the soil? Irrigation means you are providing water to the growing crop. Okay, so that is called process of irrigation. This is a channel through which water is moving to the crop field. So that is irrigation. Plowing Plowing means tilting the soil of water with the help of plow or tractor, right? So which of the following can influence the heat flow? So if the surface layer of the soil is very, very hard, then the heat will not flow in the inner surface layer of the soil. It can flow into the upper surface layer but not deep into the soil. So when you plow the field, this layer becomes loose and heat can flow deep now, right? So plowing is helping to heat flow into the soil. Irrigation. Now when the water goes deep into the soil, it also loses the soil, right? And heat can flow from the upper surface of soil to the deeper, and also water is there. So water at the upper surface is heated, and when it percolates down to the lower surface of soil also get heated. So these both the processes helps to heat flow into the soil, right? So the correct answer is both A and B. Right? So heat flow in soil can be done with the help of irrigation as well as the plowing process. A mechanical device to record air temperature continuously. That is, the first one is thermometer, thermograph, and thermosensor. Right? So thermometer, it measure the temperature of liquid as well as our body temperature, right? So thermometer is used for that, right? Thermograph. Now there is a graphical representation of air temperature, right? The temperature of the air is plotted in the form of graph, which is known as thermograph. Okay. Now there is a thermosensor also, which senses the change in the temperature, right? So the correct answer is thermograph. The mechanical device to record the air temperature continuously is called as thermograph, right? Okay, the next question is, which of the following layer of atmosphere is called as the seat of photochemical reaction? So many photochemical reactions take place in the some layer. These are the different layers of the atmosphere, that is the mesosphere, exosphere, troposphere, and the stratosphere. So troposphere is the layer just above our Earth's surface, that is called as the troposphere, right? And above the troposphere, this is the troposphere. Above the troposphere, we are having the stratosphere. Now, this stratosphere upper layer is made up of ozone layer. Now, when some of the chemical like chlorofluorocarbons, okay, or aerosols, when reaches to the above, this ozone layer get depleted, okay, due to the photochemical reactions, and ozone hole is formed. So this is the seat of the photochemical reaction. So we can say the stratosphere is the seat of photochemical reaction. Exosphere and mesosphere, they are not having such type of chemical reactions, okay, not based on this of Photochemical reaction. No light is involved for such type of reaction. Photo means light. So chemical reaction that is based on the photo, that is called as the photochemical reaction. So that occur in the stratosphere layer. So the correct answer is the stratosphere. Next question. Dash forms on cold surface when the condensation take place below the freezing point. Very important question. So dash forms on cold surface. Suppose this is the cold surface. Okay, this surface is very, very cold. Okay, and water droplets are present here. Okay, water droplets are present here. So these are very cold surface, very cold surface, and the condensation takes place and the water droplets are present here. So this water droplets reach to the temperature lower than the dew point, and it freezes below the freezing point. It freezes and convert into frost, So frost forms on the cold surfaces when condensation take place below the freezing point. So here the condensation is taking place, but it is below the freezing point. So these water present freezes and form the frost. So the correct answer is frost forms on the cold surfaces when the condensation takes place below the freezing point. Next question. What is the prediction of weather for the next few days to the season is called? Metrology, agrometrology, weather forecast, or all of the above. So prediction of weather, we are predicting, right? Prediction of weather for the next few days, the season is called. Now, the first option is the metrology. So metrology is the study in which we record the weather condition or atmospheric condition. Right? We are having the data like rainfall, temperature, humidity, density, right? So these are some of the atmospheric condition we record. Okay, so that is called as metrology. Okay, now these atmospheric condition required for the agricultural growth, then it is called as agrometrology. Right? And we are predicting the weather for the next few days, for the coming days. Then we are actually forecasting the weather that in the next coming days, the weather will be like this, right? On our prior record or the prior record of the metrology. These meteorological department, the data that is collected, right? For the next few days, these data are used for the prediction of weather for next few days. So that is called as weather forecast. Okay. So the correct answer is weather forecast. So next question is, ARIMA is used in which of the method of forecast? ARIMA. So what is ARIMA? Auto-regressive, integrated moving average. Autoregressive integrated moving average, that is ARIMA, is used in which of the method of forecast? So there are different methods of forecast: synoptic method, statistical method, numerical weather predictions, or all of the above. So the synoptic method uses the different satellite data, okay, that is the remote sensing data, in which we record the earth terrain in the form of image, and a lot of map can be made on that, basis on that. That is the land use map, okay, soil map, forest map, right, agricultural based map. So different types of map can be created by the synoptic method, right? Okay, so statistical method. So different statistical tools are used, okay, for forecasting, for the weather forecasting. So one of this tool is the ARIMA, that is the autoregressive integrated moving average. Okay, that comes under the statistical method. And numerical weather prediction, there are different numerical data that are used for the weather prediction, right? So the correct answer is the statistical method. So ARIMA is used in which of the methods of forecasting? It is used in the statistical method of forecasting. Okay, so next question. Okay, so next question is, which of the following statement is incorrect about the isotherms? So we are having some statements regarding the isotherms. Now we have to choose the one which is incorrect. So isotherms are the line joining the places having the equal temperature. Okay, so what it says that on the map we plot a line that is having equal temperature, and that particular line is called as isotherms. It is showing that these particular regions are having equal temperature. Suppose this is 30 degrees centigrade. So these region on the earth is having the 30 degrees centigrade temperature. So that is called as isotherms. In January, the isotherms deviate to the north over the ocean and to the south over the continent. So basically the isotherms are present north over the ocean and south over the continent during the January period, right? Third statement, in January, the isotherms generally run parallel to the latitudes. Okay, so the D is saying all of the above. So which is the incorrect statement? So first statement is the correct, and the second one is also the correct. That is, in January, the isotherm deviates to the north over the ocean and to the south over the continent. This is the correct statement. But in January, the isotherms generally run parallel to the latitude. So this is totally contradicting the B statement. So this is actually the correct statement for the July. This is for the July. That is, in July, the isotherms generally run parallel to the latitude. Okay. So this is the incorrect statement. So the correct is the C1. That is the January, the isotherms generally run parallel to the latitude. Actually, it is July. Next question. The atmospheric pressure decreases with the decrease in elevation, decreases with the increase in elevation, remain constant, or increases with the increase in elevation. So when you go high up in the mountain, so you are at the elevation, right? You are at the elevation. Now at the higher mountain, the air is less. The air becomes less. So it exerts less pressure on our body. It exerts less pressure in our body, right? So the atmospheric pressure decreases with the increase in elevation. So when we go higher in the atmosphere, we find that atmospheric pressure decreases. So the correct answer is decreases with the increase in elevation. Next question. Wind velocity near the ground surface is high than at the higher elevation, less than at the higher elevation, and both A and B or none of the above. So what we see at the ground surface, what happened? The ground get heated and the air in contact with the ground surface also get heated. Air at the ground surface, also gets heated, right? So what happened? The air rises up. It becomes lighter and air rises up. So the wind takes away these air to the higher in the atmosphere. Okay. So wind velocity near the ground surface is higher than at the higher elevation, less than at the higher elevation, both A and B or none of these. So we find that at the ground surface, there is a less air present when it get heated, right? So what happened? Less than higher elevation. So wind is less, okay, if we compare to the higher elevation. So we find that wind velocity near the ground surface is less than at the higher elevation. So this is the correct answer, right? Next question. Humidity refers to temperature of the atmosphere, water vapor content of the atmosphere, gaseous content of the atmosphere, or none of these. So what we see that temperature of the atmosphere, this is the one of the phenomena of the atmosphere, that is the temperature. Water vapor, what is water vapor? That the water in the form of vapor is present in the atmosphere. So water vapor content of the atmosphere, this is called as the humidity. Right? Gaseous content of the atmosphere is different thing, that there are different types of gases present in the air. So that is not refers to the humidity. Water vapor content present in the atmosphere, that is called as the humidity, right? So water vapor content of the atmosphere, this is the correct answer. Next question. The rain shadow effect is related with drizzling, cyclonic precipitation, convectional precipitation, or the orographic precipitation. So we are having a mountain, and here we are having water. So what happened? This water get warmer and evaporates. And water evaporates. Evaporate goes higher in the atmosphere, right? The condensation takes place. And it forms droplets of water. So when this cloud moves toward this mountain blocks its moving and makes fall all its rain here, all the water here in the form of rain. That is the precipitation. It brings rain this side. That is called windward side. Okay? Windward side. And this is the leeward side. Leeward side. Okay? So this is also called as rain shadow area. Rain shadow area. This is called as rain shadow area. So drizzling is a type of a rain. Cyclonic precipitation is also a type of rain. Convectional precipitation is also a type of rain, and orographic precipitation is also a type of rain. So the convectional precipitation, it's what happened. The water vapor rises up, it forms the cloud at that place only, and it also brings the rain in that place only. So there is no formation of rain shadow area. Cyclonic precipitation. The clouds are formed at one place, wind makes it move to the another place, and it brings rain there. But there is no rain shadow type of effect. The rain shadow type of effect we see in this case only, and this is called as orographic precipitation. This is called as orographic precipitation. Right? So the correct answer is orographic precipitation. Orographic precipitation. Correct answer. Okay. So the last question is, which one is not a form of precipitation? Not a form of precipitation. Dew, frost, rain, and sublimation. So dew is formed on the surface of leaf or any other surfaces when droplets of water condense at the surface, and we can see the droplets of water are present on it, right? And this same droplets of water changes to ice and form the frost when this reaches to lower than freezing point. Okay, so that forms the frost. Rain is also a type of precipitation that when condensation takes place, okay, the water comes down in the form of rain from the clouds. Okay, sublimation is a type of change that when solid directly changes to air. Solid directly changes to air. So this is not any precipitation phenomena, right? So the correct answer is sublimation. Which one is not a form of precipitation? That is the sublimation. Okay. So this is all about this session. Okay. We will meet with one more MCQs based on the agrometrology in the next session. Thank you very much.